Okay, good evening, Money Flower team. On behalf of Nakia, our founder of the Money Flower, and myself, Taisha, we wanted to do a quick little video just to kind of explain the poll that we took about splitting our flower into two groups so that we can also allow the people on the bottom of the flower to get quicker payouts, and we rotate from the group one to group two. We are trying to do some things to keep the motivation going because we realize that at this time our flower has grown a little slow with fire ups. So in order to help keep the motivation going for the people that are on the bottom to not have to wait so long to get a payout, I came up with an idea to make our flower join into two groups, or put our flower into two groups actually. The first half being group one, the second half being group two. So I want to explain the theory behind this just so that we can kind of get it on a better level, and get a little bit more understanding. So basically, as you can see, this is beginning with our first fire ups from when we started. Group one would be everyone that's on the first page. Keep in mind that, again, there are some people as we go into these second and third pages that have been skipped. So it means that you're still in a quicker time frame of getting your payout versus what's actually on this list. Nakia will be doing an update and showing who has been skipped, but I just want to keep this simple because I don't want to lose you. So group one would consist of everyone on the first page, group 1 through 25, and as you guys know, we are actually on Jason Reed. So that means everyone on this first page would remain as group 1. Everyone on this second page would be still group 1. Okay, these are group 1 as well. When we get to the third page, this is when we would split our groups into two, and it would be the last person in group 1 would be Taylor Sago. Okay, group 2 would start with JT Tinsley, and then we go over to here and we see that we have Tanya Wright going down to 68. KC, that would be considered group 2. This would be considered group 2 as well, and this would be considered group 2, and this would be considered group 2. How we get this is we divide the amount of people we have in our community by 2. That leaves us at number 55 when you divide 111 people by 2. So we would start at number 56 with JT Tinsley being group 1. How we would do this to make it a little bit more motivating for people that are on the bottom of the list is I'm actually considering, and Nakia, allowing our first flower to finish before we even do this. But if that's the case, starting with number 13, when we get to Marjorie and get her through the water, right? We would alternate between group 1 and group 2. So that means that Marjorie would come out of the water and we would shift to our second group and put Johnny Tinsley in the water next. Then rotate back to group 1, put Chris in the water. Then rotate back to group 2 and put Curtis Manley in the water. Then rotate back and put Johnny Tinsley in the water, who actually was skipped. So I know that for sure. So that number 56 wouldn't even hold up. That would go to the next person on the list. So we would go to Johnny Tinsley, right? And then we would go to ID Cash Out would be next in group 2. So this is what we're saying. We're rotating from group 1 to group 2. And we're giving people on the second half the opportunity to be in alignment to get blessed quicker by not having to wait until we get through all of these names to get a payout. Now, basically from the poll that we did, you guys agreed that you like this idea. Why did we choose to do this idea? I'm about to dissect this really quickly because our fire ups have slowed down. Naturally, if we had the amount of fire ups that we had when we first began, we would not need to come up with a strategy to keep you guys motivated by doing 2 groups. We would be able to continue our rotation the way that it's supposed to be, going straight down the list. This is why we feel the fire ups have slowed down, is because some of you have expressed you don't want to wait as long to get a payout. So we are considering your thoughts. We're trying to keep you motivated, and we're saying, let's come up with an idea to bring our groups into 2. And we rotate from the bottom or the middle of the list and come from group 1 to group 2 and get people that are in the middle an opportunity to get a quicker payout. And we keep putting people that are new coming in as fire ups, and we place them in rotation between group 1 and 2. So that means we will continue to add more names as we get new fire ups, and each person would rotate between being put on group 1 or group 2. I'm trying to make this as simple as I can so it's not confusing. We're trying to come up with strategies to keep you guys motivated so that we can keep the fire ups continuing in a large capacity so that we can continue to bless people quickly. So that is the whole motivation for this. At the end of the day, Nakia wants me to express, and I'm with her on this, if we're not getting fire ups, this group, this list, this poll, none of this is going to matter. We need your help to keep the community going. We're doing our part. I myself, I've brought in over 12 people. And honestly speaking, what would the outcome be if everybody that is on this list brought in 10 to 12 people? I would highly suggest stay away from trying to break down the flower. The flower is not hard. You start in the earth, you go to the air position, then you go to the earth, and then you're in the water. There is nothing hard about that. But when you're trying to show a diagram to people who don't understand it, you're missing the point of why we're doing this. The point of this is we are a traditional flower community where we're investing 1,000 and we're getting 8,000. We chose that amount because we wanted it to change lives and not just have a quick 4,000. Of course, 4,000 is great. It can change the course of your life for a month or so. Some of you guys, that's your bills for a month or 2. We chose 8,000 because we wanted it to be something that could be significant in changing the course of your season. So again, if you can just explain that you are investing 1,000 and you're getting 8,000, that is easier to do than trying to show them a flower and trying to teach them how to read a flower. That is not the point of what we're doing, okay? So let's try to stick to the basics, that you go on a list. If you gift 1,000, you get 8,000 as an investment back. You go on a list, you go on group 1 or group 2 if we decide to do that, and that's basically it. It's simple. And it makes better sense than trying to break down a flower diagram, okay? And basically that is the reason for this quick video. This is something that you guys agreed and voted on that you liked. So we wanted to pass this information on and kind of give you a breakdown of it better so that you can understand it, okay? So every time we get new fire ups, if we decide to do group 1 and 2, we will start by placing the next fire up in group 1, then the next one would be in group 2, and we would just rotate back and forth, okay? So if you guys have any further questions, you can address it through the chat or through the DM. We're asking that we keep the energy good. The flower will be shut down, or the group, if there's too much confusion or people are not understanding things. We want positivity, good energy, good vibes, and nothing but fire ups to keep this community going, okay? All right, you guys, that's all I want to say for now, and you guys have a blessed evening.